just so we can respect everyone's time. And any girls that jump on, if y'all will go ahead and mute yourselves, and any of y'all's teammates can go back and watch this. I'll convert it and load it to the team page, and I'll share it with Tiff so that we can all have it. So I'm Courtney. I know a lot of y'all just because I've seen y'all on your team page. And this is Tiffany for my team. She is a sideline sister, and we just connected right in the beginning of the business, and it's been such a blessing to have her and to steal ideas from her like every day. It's awesome. So your dog is cute.
Oh, thanks. She's a part.
She's so cute. So we have a list of questions, and what me and Tiff are going to do is just, read the question, and then we were both going to give you our input. So if y'all will go ahead and mute yourself, if you're not muted, I'll help you.
Their winery's chant in there.
Yeah.
It was cool. Our bartender was entertaining. It was fun.
I'm looking to see if everyone's muted. Sorry.
Han needs to be muted. And then did you get the iPhone that jumped on?
Okay, awesome. I think everyone is so far. Okay, so the questions that we came up with, it was funny. They're kind of a lot the same about what I needed her insight for my team and vice versa. So Tiff, if you're good, I'll just start with the questions, and then if you just want to go from there and give your input and I'll give my input, and we can just roll like that. Okay, the first question that we want to answer for you girls is, what is the right speed to work your business and to promote? And so I'll let Tiff go first to answer that.
Honestly, there is no right speed. Some people grow really fast in this business and some people don't. And it's really important that you keep that in mind, because regardless if it takes you 4 months or it takes you 4 years to get to diamond, double diamond, triple diamond, presidential, and or whatever the case may be, you're way better off than you would be at a 9-to-5 corporate job. So just don't give up when it doesn't happen in 4 months. There's plenty of leaders out here that didn't get their Ruby bonus. They didn't even get fast start qualified. And not to say that we should not push for that, because we should, but it's just, it needs to be a reminder that if you don't get that in that time frame, it's okay. So my answer is there is no right speed. It's your speed.
And my answer is really a lot the same as Tiffany's. I always tell my girls, it doesn't matter how fast or slow you go. It does not matter. It's that you keep going. Those are the ambassadors. Those are the Carrie Bowers. Those are the Ashley Sinclairs. Ashley Sinclair did it in 7 months. Carrie Bauer was sitting at executive in that same amount of time. So if you don't stay in your lane and you're comparing yourself to others, you'll get sidetracked, you'll get lost, and it's easy to get defeated in this business because you don't have a boss. Nobody's there telling you you're doing a great job. But the beauty of it is no one's telling you you didn't meet a deadline, because there are no deadlines. There was a girl I signed, and one of the things she told me that has stuck with me is she said, I'll be doing this till the day I die. And she said, because there's no rush. And it wasn't that she wasn't working with urgency, but she knew she was in this for the long run, and she wasn't going to put an expiration date on those milestones. She had those milestones, but if she didn't make it in the amount of time frame, then she just kept going. Now, I will tell you, the right speed is what's right for you girls. Me and Tiffany are rare. We moved really fast, but I'll tell you too, and I'm at double now, and it's not that I'm not moving fast, but I am not moving like I was at the beginning, because I feel like, sorry, my internet's going weird. I wouldn't be able to lead my team if I was pulling in 18, 19 distributors a month. So I feel like, yeah, we may have promoted really fast, and of course I want to keep going, but right now my focus is growing you guys and you girls and helping y'all. So that's my answer. The next thing we wanted to talk about is why diamond needs to be your goal. So I'll let Tiff start.
I mean, I can't even begin to explain how it opens up the comp plan. I mean, you can't even fathom the comp plan once you hit diamond. You automatically get a 2% raise on your group volume. And there's these wonderful golden eggs called cabs, and they are absolutely amazing. So just to give you a brief explanation of a cab, everybody should know what a fast start bonus is. When you start your business and you get 2 loyals, or you sign a distributor and you get 2 loyals under those distributors in 30 days, you get a $99 fast start bonus. Once you hit diamond, not only do you get $99 on all of your personally enrolled distributors who are fast start qualified, but any of your distributors who sign a distributor and sign a distributor and so forth, you get $80 on those. So it's just, I mean, you pretty much can absolutely write your own paycheck once you hit diamond. It's crazy. So that should be everybody's main goal when, to get to diamond.
I agree. One thing that Ashley Sinclair said is everyone gets caught up in these bonuses, and they get very defeated if they're close to a bonus and they don't get it. But what she said made so much sense. I know we don't all share our paychecks, and I don't ever share certain amounts of money to boast or brag. I'm very, very grateful. But I want to explain how great a cab run can be. And you have to know when you go diamond and you get a cab run, it is a one-time thing. However, the month before, my cab run paid my mortgage. And that blew my mind. Now, last month, my cab run wasn't as big, but what Ashley taught me is, she said, when you promote during bonus time and you get a $1,200 a month double diamond bonus, she said, that's wonderful. But if you just brought in a few new distributors and taught them to go Ruby, you're going to make more than $1,200 in cabs every month. And then it's going to continue to grow as your team grows. So a lot of girls will wait to promote, or they're waiting for those bonuses. Those bonuses, what she was explaining to us is, don't get caught up in that. Get caught up in getting to diamond. Get to diamond as soon as you can. Don't wait till next January. Don't sit around. Get there as fast as you can, because you can make so much money. Like Tiff was saying, writing your own paycheck, you can make so much money by your cab runs. It's unlimited. It's crazy. You're going to make money, $80 here, $80 there, $80 everywhere from people you don't even know who they are. And it does. It's like it opens up Pandora's box. It's crazy. The raise you get and the cabs are insane. So whenever you have a goal, I want everyone to not miss the forest for the trees of the small steps along the way and laying that foundation. But diamond is where it's at. It's where all the money is. And so if you can tough it out, stick through these months where you feel like you're working your butt off, it may equate to $2 an hour. I tell girls, yeah, but when you go diamond, you're getting paid on your efforts and a whole diamond team's efforts. And that's insane. So that's my 2 cents on going diamond. Another question is, what happens when you post, Tiffany?
What's this?
Look at business as social media is your open sign to your business, your open sign to when you every single day. I think we have someone not muted.
I'm muting. I'm sorry.
good.
There you go.
But when you post every single day, that is your open sign. And it lets everybody know what you're doing. It lets everybody know, I still believe in this company. I still believe in these products. I'm still happy. This is still working. The minute, and I hate to say this because people are almost waiting for you to not post so that they can almost go, I guess that didn't work for her. And they're watching that. I can't tell you how many people have contacted me going, well, I keep seeing your posts, so I know it must be true. I keep seeing how happy you are, and I want that happiness. So posting is absolutely important, but you must remember that posting is not everything. You cannot just only post to work your business because people are not always going to come to you. There are rare cases where they do, but you have to be asking. To ask every single day just as much as you post every single day. That should be your two main goals every day, post and ask. So that's my input on posting.
I completely agree. If I think of it as, I always do weird analogies. Tiffany will learn this about me, but like if you walked into a bar and they handed you a menu and then they just walked away. There was no customer service. There was no, what would you like to drink? Do you have any questions? It's like your posting is your bare minimum. While it may take a lot of time, using buffer, things like that are going to get it to be where you can do it most efficiently. But it is such a small part of what we do. I've told my girls too, Tiff, that if all Mark and Cindy had to do and Pam was run a buffer ad every day, then they wouldn't need us. And they'd be, trillionaires, and there would be no network marketing. But it's the relationships. Those have to be authentic. And so posting is a one-way street, period. I don't ever expect to post and have 20 people reply. It doesn't happen. But your posting is putting it out there, and then those relationships, those messages, those are the critical part. That's your bread and butter. That is where the magic happens. So it has to go hand in hand. If not, it's like you're on autopilot. So and don't get discouraged. Don't get discouraged if people don't like it. I've told my team a lot. Think of we all creep on people's Facebook, like old friends, old boyfriends, weird neighbors, whatever. And so it's the same thing. No one's going to like all of your posts and say, oh my God, I'm so overweight. Yes, help me, help me. They're not going to comment on that. And a lot of these people are insecure to begin with. Whenever you're talking about weight and looking and feeling better, that's a hard topic for some women. So know that if people aren't buying, they're watching, period. That's my mentality. That is my mental shift, has been, if you're not buying from me, you're watching me. And that keeps me going and keeps me consistent. So, Tiff, if you are wanting to go double, if you're wanting to go triple, and you need another Ruby, are you sitting back waiting for Susie Q to sign up and get to Ruby?
Absolutely not. You don't ever sit there and wait for somebody to get you to Ruby, or get you to where you need to be. If you have somebody boxed for Ruby, of course we want that person to run. We pray for this person to run. Every distributor that we sign up, we want them to just take off and run all their boxes and get themselves to Ruby. That would be a perfect world. That would be amazing. But it doesn't happen that way. So at the end of the day, you need to do what's best for you to promote. And if it's best for you to sign a couple of loyals and to help this lady get to Ruby, which eventually will motivate her more to want to do more for herself, which helps your business, then that's what you have to do. You can't sit back and wait for your team. Look, everybody should print out a diamond chart. There's 24 boxes on that diamond chart, and it should be your goal to get all 24 of those filled. The more that you enroll on your chart, the bigger your check will be. So again, although we want our team to help, you know what you need. Just go out and do it. I mean, me and Courtney, we knew we wanted a team to help work with us, but we also knew what we needed. So we went out, we filled up our chart. I had like 2 people on my diamond chart besides ones that I personally enrolled, and I got to diamond. I'm not saying that to boast or to brag. I'm just saying it can happen. So you don't want to wait for your team. If you are $200 or $300 or in volume away from promoting because you have a distributor who's just not working, make that your point to help that distributor promote, because that promotion will help you in the end. I mean, you want your team to succeed, bottom line. Your team is you. So you want your team to succeed. So no, don't wait for people to work on your team. I mean, you go out and you get it done yourself.
So I think some critical points from that are, yes, Tiffany's right. When I got into this business, I had lost my job, and I knew this was my way out. If there was a way out, this was my way out of debt. This was a way for me to put food on my kitchen table. And I'll tell you, on my diamond chart, there was one person that I hadn't personally enrolled, and I would dare to say on my double there may have been 5, maybe. And I don't say that to brag either. I say that because when I first started this, I'm like, I don't know anyone, no one's ever going to sign up. But my mentality, it's all in your mind. If you want to know what it takes to go diamond, print a diamond chart and work every day to fill every one of those boxes yourself. You can go to diamond. In the meantime, as you're doing that, I mean, I'm looking at Lindsay right now, Lindsay Johnson. Lindsay Johnson was one of the girls I went out and got on my diamond chart. Lindsay now, she's boxed for emerald. These girls will pop. They will grow. But if I would have waited for Lindsay, and I don't mean that rude, but if I would have just sat there and been like, okay, well, Lindsay's in a box where if she goes emerald, one day I'll go diamond. That's not how it works. You've got to get that chart and work it like it is yours. I work my charts like every box belongs to me. What Tiffany was saying about the volume, I'll tell you, the 2 months I've promoted, I knew exactly how much volume every person needed for me to promote, which in turn they promoted, and I worked that chart. If the number was $1,358, I owned that number from the first day of that month, and that was my number that I was chipping away at. And if my girls chipped away with me, great, and a lot of them will. But if you get in your head that, okay, well, I'll promote to Ruby this month when 3 of my girls, they each need 200. No, you need 600. And it's a team effort, and you're going to go and you're going to do it together. And once I got that mindset, that's whenever I took off and I soared because I owned it. In return, I've changed a lot of girls' lives, not me, but the opportunity, and they're seeing the vision. But if we just sit back and wait, it's not going to happen, because we've got to have that sense of urgency and to know, looking back, the day I started thinking who's ever going to sign up under me, and knowing I built almost myself to double, it's like, you can do this. Anybody can do this. So I really mean that. I work at home. I had lost my job. I didn't have a pocket full of distributors waiting to put in the system. I went and I built those relationships and found them. So if you want it bad enough, you can fill that dang chart up.
Exactly.
What is your biggest tip?
I have a couple.
Okay.
That was really hard to just find one. So the main thing is people stay consistent. I mean, you have to stay consistent with your asking, and you have to it goes back to, what we just talked about. But consistency is key in this company. You stop, they stop believing. You cannot stop believing yourself. The next thing is, do not get discouraged with no's. No's come, no's happen. I tell my ladies to go out and make it your weekly goal to go find 100 no's, because if you're asking enough people to get 100 no's, you will find yeses in those no's. So that should be your goal every single week, is to go find 100 no's. You will have distributors who give up. It can be discouraging, because we, as distributors who work hard and who love this company, it hurts our hearts when someone signs up, they pay the $99, and they act like, they just don't care. Like, it's like, okay, well, nobody answered my first post, I'm done. But Ashley had a great analogy, and I absolutely loved it. You have to think of it as like a gym membership. You have several people who go to the gym or to sign up. You have people who will pay that gym membership, pay all this money, and they never step foot in that door. They never go. You have people who pay all that money, and they go in and they may use the equipment here and there, but they don't do anything with it. Then you have those people that pay all that money, but they need that extra hand holding. They need that trainer. They need that person to walk them through the company and through the gym and from place to place, and really just hold their hand. And they may take off and they may not. And then you have those people that will come in, pay all that money, they come in, they don't need any help, and they just take off and they completely change their complete life. But the gym don't care if those other 3 didn't take off. The gym's okay, because the gym's getting paid. The gym is providing all of the tools to you, the same tools to all of the people. And it's up to those people whether they want to take off or not. There's nothing that the gym can do, like a free t-shirt or a free shake or anything like that, to make them change their mind. They have it within them, or they don't. So you kind of have to look at it as that mentality when you sign somebody. It's kind of like a lottery ticket. You pray for them, you hope to God that they take off, but they might just not. And if they don't, it's okay. It's okay to, say, okay, that one didn't work, so let me go out and find another one. So that would be my biggest tip, is to not get discouraged when you sign somebody up and they don't have the heart that you have, because some people just don't.
That's so good. I love that analogy. I hadn't heard that. And it's so true. And, if you would have told me that when I first signed up, I think that would have scared me. But I think it's so important to be transparent with our teams, because I beat my head against the wall. So whenever I tell you I went double diamond, I don't remember how many. I'm looking at my charts. There's a lot. There's a lot of boxes. And I don't know, Tiff, how many are there? Like 30, 40 something?
30 something, 36
okay.
Or something.
I drug 19 dead boxes to double, and I filled those suckers myself with loyal customers. And that's great and all, and I tell you, go and get it done. But there's also a point, too, where you have to bless and release people, because keeping them on your chart and beating your head against the wall is so much more stressful than going and bringing new blood into your business. So don't give up on people. I still afford them the same opportunity on the team page. I still invite them to Zooms. But if, run with the people that are running with you, not the people that you think have potential. Because Ashley said potential doesn't pay the bills. And I have so many girls I can think of where you just want to take them and shake them and be like, girl, you are sitting on a gold mine. You are gorgeous. You have 20 million friends. And they don't care, and that's not a negative. It's not important to them, and we can't let that get us bitter or negative or down, because everyone gets into this for a why, and if they just might not have a strong enough why, or they may not know what their why is, and so. The consistency, and that kind of leads us into something else we're going to talk about, is the steps to success. If you are constantly aiming to hit those steps every single month, if 2 girls fall off and you got 1 runner and it happens over and over, it's a lot less of a blow to take. There are months I don't hit the steps to success, but by God, I try till midnight every single month until the last day of the month. It's so funny because I realized I'd have someone turn off their auto ship but I'm putting in a loyal. I have a girl that they don't think this is for them, but I signed 2 distributors this week. And if you keep that momentum going, you're going to find people that want this. So the consistency is critical. You cannot sign 10 people and sit there or promote and sit there. You're constantly looking for more people's lives to change. So keep your head up because you will find people that want this, like they want air to breathe, like Tiff and I did. And nobody told me that. I didn't even know what I was getting myself into, but I'm motivated. I'm a self-starter, and I had a huge why. And nobody in my upline could have taught those things to me. So I had to have them. Tiff had to have them. So you'll find those people. What is the number one thing that will hurt your business?
A negative attitude will absolutely hurt your business. And I understand there are days where you just want to just shake somebody, like Courtney said. It is hard. We have days, we have good days, we have bad days. But take every single thing with a grain of salt, for one, and try to find the positive in every negative. I tell my ladies all the time, if you're talking to a loyal and they keep coming back, or you're talking to a distributor and they keep coming back with a negative, try your best to answer that negative with a positive answer. If you can keep turning negatives into positives, you will flourish in this business. You need to be intentional every day that you wake up. And by intentional, I mean you need to be proactive. When you wake up in the morning, be proactive. And that means, wake up and tell yourself, I am going to get people in the system today. I am going to bless people. I am going to add 10 people to my social media. And be intentional with that. When you're sitting on Facebook or you're sitting scrolling through Instagram, don't get caught up in the fact of scrolling. Be intentional with your time. Your time is valuable, and you can actually make tons of money on your cell phone. Tons of money. So be intentional with that time. Add people. Connect with people. If you catch yourself scrolling, start connecting with people, growing relationships with people. The only way that you will fail in this business is if you quit and you have a negative attitude. That's the only way you can fail.
I couldn't agree more. And I hope whenever me and Tiff tell you those things, it doesn't mean that we wake up every day positive. But I'll tell you, it was probably last month whenever I realized that that's a choice. That is a complete choice. You can either think about all the girls that aren't doing anything, or you can think about the 3 girls that want this so bad and lock hips with them. And it's a choice. It is a choice whenever someone messages you, we turn off my auto ship, whether that ticks you off and gets you down for the day or makes you think, okay, I got to go replace that loyal now. It's just such a mind game that that is my one biggest piece of advice. If your mind's not in the right spot, your business will suffer, period. Your team will see it. The numbers will show, period. If you're negative, it bleeds through every crease of your business. If you can take every day and, like Tiff was saying, find that silver lining, find what is working and then run with it. It's kind of like finding the strengths of your whole team, capitalizing on it. I had one girl, I was really good at signing distributors one month, and she was really good at signing loyals. So I said, hey, look, let's help each other, because I needed that leg to start growing. And, just finding the strengths within your team and focusing on those. And one thing about that too is, I will tell you, in this business, I don't make any business decisions because of my friends. I have best friends on my team. I have my sister, my husband, my mom, 3 cousins, and I do not move people. I don't place. None of that is a business or a personal decision. It's all business. But on the flip side, caring about your team is not a business decision. And if you wake up with a good attitude and you care about your team will flourish. So, let me see what our next question is. What do you need can we just kind of talk about this, like from the very beginning, what do you need to get in your head and teach girls that you're bringing into this business to get in their head?
Like to do consistently or to overcome from the beginning? Like which one were you at?
Like these are the aversions, these are the objections you're going to get. And so here's, kind of strength training from the very get-go. This is what you're going to be up against. It's the reality of it. And what are we going to do with that?
The thing that you have to realize, and this is my hardest thing, because this is what caught me off guard the most, is not everyone will support you. Not all your family will support you. Not all your friends will support you. And I was not prepared for that. I thought everybody would be able to see that this is totally out of Tiffany's very shy comfort zone and character, and they would be like, oh, she knows what she's doing, obviously, so we're going to support her because she seems happy. And that was not the case. I had a lot of support, don't get me wrong, but there were select few who were really, really, really close to me that treated me like I got kidnapped by aliens and walked into this pyramid scheme. So just be prepared that not everyone will support you, and that is okay. That is okay. Not everyone will like or comment your post. It's a huge thing, and you could post something about your family and get 100 and something likes, and the next post you can post about our BOGO on cleanse and not get a single like. It's normal. Go look at Sinclair or any of the ambassadors' pages. It's the same thing with thousands and thousands of followers. So that's very normal. Most people just don't like or comment it, but they are watching. So just keep that in mind. And you will get no's. That's something, you're going to get more no's in this business than you will get yeses. But like I mentioned earlier, if you set your goal every single week to get no's, you will get yeses, because the reason you're getting no's is because you're asking. You have to ask. And that's those are probably my most three things that I wish I would have known about when
That's funny you say that. My very best friend, her husband is like a biochemist for a neighboring company, and she's supportive, but she also will make fun of me and say like, oh, you're in a cult. Oh, I see you have on lime green again. Oh, you're in that cult. And it took her a while, but now she's like, dang, you're making really good money. And her husband goes, yeah, that's how these things work. So, but at the end of the day, those who matter don't mind, and those who mind don't matter. And I mean that. I can still go hang out with her, and I can still have a life outside of it works, and I think that's important too. But all of your friends don't have to sign up to be DTs. They don't even have to be a loyal. But I will tell you, keep people around you that do at least support you in the sense of they're still care about you, but they don't have to be in the business with you. I'll tell you, the hardest people to bring into this business are your best friends and your family members. So be okay with that. Be okay to have a separation of different friends. I had a great girls' weekend with 3 of my best friends from high school this weekend. 2 of them made a joke, and they're like, are you going to pay for your painting with a twist with It Works products? And I'm like, oh, no, but I'm going to pay for it with my It Works money. And you have to take it with a grain of salt and just keep rolling. Those people's opinions don't pay your bills, and you have to know that from day one. Another thing that I get, what was it I was going to tell you? Oh, when someone tells you no, try to figure out why and listen, because you could be writing off a potential. No, money's tight. I remember one girl, I was trying to get her to buy hair, skin, and nails, and she said, no, money's tight, and I turned her into a DT that night. I'm like, well, if money's so tight, that $33 a month is hard for you to imagine. I would love to show you how to make that money not matter. And she's like, you know what? You're right. I need extra income to turn into a distributor. So don't let someone's no shut you down. Most of my customers didn't go, oh, yeah, sure, sign me up. So listen to people when they tell you no, and really, if you have a relationship, you'll know why they're telling you no. Write that down. It could be, this semester's totally crazy. I am taking 18 hours trying to graduate. Well, if you write that down and you form that relationship, come May, whenever they graduate from college or what have you, you can have a conversation. Hey, I'm so excited this semester's over. Congratulations on graduating. I wanted to see if you could reevaluate your schedule and just chat with me about how easy this is. So always be taking those no's and putting them into some sort of category in your brain, unless someone tells you something like, no, absolutely not. If you message me again, I'm going to unfriend you. I mean, that doesn't bother me, but those are the people I wouldn't keep following up with. But I think that leads us into our next tip is following up. Even when someone tells you no, follow up. My biggest tip for that, before I forget it, is, so when you think of follow up and you think of messaging people, I challenge all of you, when you message someone, to be specific. At first, when I was messaging people, it was very much, hey, do you want to try some products? Now I try to make it very specific, because if they tell me no about hair, skin, and nails, they may be interested in something else. And it at least gives me an avenue to approach them about a different product or a different BOGO. If I ask them about hair, skin, and nails, but we've never talked about wraps. So when you're talking to people, be intentional. And if they tell you no, remember what they tell you no for. Okay, go. Sorry.
No, you're fine. You'll have to remember, people forget. I mean, there are people, I get it. There are people that ignore our messages. There are people that, just kind of, you can feel like they're just postponing and they're not answering you. But there are people who forget. There's people that have really busy schedules. I can tell you, when in the morning before my life goes crazy, that's when a lot of my team gets messages from me. It's early in the morning, and that's just because it's on my mind, and before I forget, I need to message. So don't feel bad about following up with people. Following up is the fortune in this business. It's the key to success. You have to remember that. And if you feel like you're bugging them, own it. I'm so sorry for bugging you again. I just wanted to follow up to see blah, 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 blah. I mean, tell them, I don't mean to bug you. I'm sorry to be a pest. And it kind of, I guess, makes you feel a little bit better about following up with them. Be very personal, like Courtney said, be very specific. Ask them, I'm following up about hair, skin, nails. And it just, because it opens up those avenues, like she said, about messaging other products. I also, if you know, in the I like last month, but I just wanted to follow back up with you and see if maybe you wanted to try something in June. And nobody really likes to be the no person. So kind of giving them and telling them specifically that I realized you were a no last month, but I just wanted to see if maybe you wanted to jump in this month. It gives you another option of following up as well. I am a queen of follow-ups. They don't bug me. I will bug them until they, push me off a cliff. It's the way that I feel like I've gotten so many people, is I've stayed updated with them. I ask them, about their family. I make it personal. I just grow relationships with them while I'm messaging. They tell you, I don't just go, oh, okay, thanks, and just fall off. Conversation with that, come when they graduate or come whenever the case may be, you can continue talking to them and convert them to a customer, a distributor, or a friend. I mean, you just never know.
Well, I think that's such a great point. I can give you an example of one of my girls that y'all probably seen, Maddie Wagner. I messaged her, and it was a cold message, and I'm just going to be blunt. I don't send spammy cold messages. I try to still make them, like, I don't say, hey, have you ever heard of It Works? I'm looking for a team member. Copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. I will say, hey, I've been looking at your profile. I see you have a lot of friends. You're into barrel racing. You're super cute and energetic. I think you'd be great at what I do. And she said, I'm 17, sorry. And I was like, okay. She's like, I'll get back to you when I'm 18. And I thought, yeah, right. Like, I'll never hear from you again. Well, before I got real organized with my follow-ups, it popped up that it was her birthday on, you know how it tells you Facebook birthdays. And I wished her a happy birthday. 2 days later, she's like, you know what, I'm ready to sign up for your team. And she laughs now, and she's like, you stalked me and told me happy birthday. But just that simple of a gesture. And, you know, she went Ruby last month. She brought in 7 distributors her first month. It was insane. And you just never know what a little bit of time and kindness can do for someone who needs it. That's a huge piece of advice. I'm trying to think.
You never know who your next rock star is, and it's important to ask.
That's so true. There have been people that have come into this business either by me or by someone else, and you know, I've learned so quickly you don't prejudge anybody in a good way or a bad way, period. You have people that come in and say, oh, I don't know anybody, and then they tell you, I'm going Ruby, damn it, and you sit there and you watch them work the heck out of this business. And she's on here right now, Doris. I didn't even know her. It was my neighbor's friend, and she's like, it's not that I didn't believe in her, but I didn't know her. And she was real shy. She's not like, hello, you know, like bubbly, outgoing. She's a very calm, mature, shy person. And so she's like, I'm going Ruby. And by God, if she didn't, like, and you just never know. Then the person that's like, oh, I'm going to be diamond in 10 days, and then they never take their account off commission hold. So if you just work it consistently and you're following up, this business will surprise you, and just look at the good surprises you get and cling to those.
I agree.
Trying to think if I have anything else to share. I don't know if any of your girls have set up a prospect list on Facebook. Have you done that, Tiff?
Talking about just the list that you can create.
Yes.
And then directly to them?
Yes.
Yes. I just did that actually, because I'm normally, since I'm home now and I'm in front of a computer, I actually have it where I can do that now. So I did just do that, and I added all of my distributors to one list, and I'm working on my prospects and my loyal customers too. But I'll let you tell them a little bit about it, because you probably know a little bit more, because I'm just learning.
Okay, so I'll tell you why this was like an aha life changer for me. Whenever Tiffany said, don't get caught on Facebook scrolling and just doing nothing. What Ashley taught us at our Diamond Weekend was make a prospect list. Now, I'm going to tell you, when I get on Facebook, I don't necessarily go to my best friend's page. I'm looking at whoever's in my newsfeed, right? I'm just scrolling, getting lost in Facebook. What you can do once you create a prospect list is, and Tiffany, I'll share this video with your team, is you then can go to a certain part of your phone, go to feeds, and it's just your prospect feed. So I'm still getting my Facebook fix. I set my phone for 20 minutes, and that way I'm not looking at a leads list, a prospect list, typing in their name. All of their activities coming up in that feed, because it's just my prospect feed, and I spend 20 minutes a day interacting with them. The thing that's so easy is whenever I friend somebody and then they accept it, I immediately add them to that prospect group. And it's just, for me, so much easier than writing down 100 people's names. I know, now once I start interacting with them, like messaging them, I will. But right now, I know I'm just building a relationship. I'm commenting on their pictures. I'm liking their son's birthday cake. Different things like that. That prospect list was a game changer for me. As far as time management, that was awesome. One other thing that I can tell your girls that I did is trying to find that balance. I know some of you may not be stay-at-home moms, and even if you are, that job can be hard in itself. I have a daycare. I have kids here from 6 to 6 every day. What I found to not get burnt out, to not feel defeated, is to make a list of 6. I got this from Carrie Bauer. Make a list of 6 non-negotiables that you're going to do for your business that day. Once you've done them, walk away. You could sign 3 loyals that day and you could sign none. But if you list 6 activities that you're going to do that are income producing activities, you will be successful. It could be, number 1, send 20 messages. Number 2, go into my prospect newsfeed. But if you've set 6 things and those are your non-negotiables that you're going to accomplish that day, that is working your business. And it can be done in the nooks and crannies of your day. That was a game changer for me, since I still work, 12 hours a day. I have 2 small kids at home and a husband. It helped me just prioritize, well, what am I going to do? Am I really going to go try to build my Instagram that I suck at? I've tried so hard, and I've gotten a few people, but just that's not my niche like Facebook is. And so am I going to spend 2 hours, re-imaging photos and recropping if that's not my strength? So that really helped me focus and be efficient with my time. So do you have any other words of wisdom?
I have just a couple things. Is one thing Ashley said this weekend to us, and she probably said in your Diamond weekend too, is to message your upline when something good happens to you. And I absolutely love that. It's so easy. I mean, I'm at fault just as much as anybody to just message your venting moments when, something goes wrong, or you didn't get that customer, or, that loyal or that distributor that was supposed to sign up 3 weeks ago, that was supposed to sign up last night, didn't sign up. It's easy to fall into that category, but us leaders really, really need to know the good things too. So, when you go to message something that you are wanting to vent about, by all means, still vent. I mean, that's what we are here for. We are here to, walk you through this. But throw in some positive too, because that's something we definitely do need to hear. Then the other thing she stressed on is the maximum amount of money that you will get out of your paycheck is putting people on the computer. So goes back to being intentional every single day. And that should be your number 1 goal, is to get people on the computer. If you have distributors underneath you, take care of your distributors, obviously. I mean, that's your team. You want to make sure they're okay. You want to guide them in the right direction. But at the end of the day, make sure you are taking care of your paycheck and you're taking care of your team, because that's your money. And it's so easy. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I can look at my phone and get completely lost because I am managing my whole team. It's really easy, but we have to take care of ourselves in order to take care of our team. Whether you have 1 distributor underneath you or several, you need to take care of yourself to take care of them. There was one more thing. There was a couple things, and she's probably said this to you also, this is some of the 4 reasons why people get burned out in this company. And if you do not feed yourself, you cannot feed your team. And meaning, if you read a devotional, if you say, a morning prayer, read an inspirational quote, whatever the case may be, you need to feed your own soul before you can feed your team. So make sure you're feeding yourself, because you cannot draw from an empty well. The second way people burn out is they quit putting people in the system. If you quit putting people in the system and just rely on your team, you're going to burn yourself out. And the third is they have too high of expectations on other people. It's really easy people on our team to do everything for us. That goes back to building you know, when you have a Ruby, that someone that's boxed for a Ruby and you're expecting them to do everything themselves. You can't expect that from them, all of it. You got to help. You got to love, you got to care, you got to help. And you have to know when to step back and breathe. If you're really overwhelmed and you need to go jump in that bubble bath with a glass of wine, lock your phone in the closet, go in that bubble bath, and step back and breathe. Because those are the 4 reasons why people get burned out in this
business. I agree. And one thing that she kept saying was, if we put expectations on people that they don't have on themselves, then it creates just like a bad relationship. If all a mom wants is $500 extra a month, and you're like, oh no, but you're going to be my presidential leg whenever I go ambassador, they're going to quit, because you're going to put unwanted pressure on them, and they're going to look at you and say like, but I don't want that. And they may not, and that's something you have to be okay with. I have learned that I have to be okay with my girls and one of my best friends, I'm like, come on. And she's like, I'm good. Like, I like my job. And she does. She's like, I like what I do. She makes good money. She truly has a passion for what she does. And I have to respect that. I have to respect every ruby, every emerald. And if that's where they want to be, I don't forget about them, but I don't put that unwanted pressure on them, because that pushes people out of the door. My biggest advice for that is, when you bring somebody in new, you ask them, what do you want? What's your goal? Not like, oh, I want to make money. You know, what is your goal? Do you want to be a stay-at-home mom? Do you want, you could never be a stay-at-home mom because your kid drives you crazy, so you just want your daycare to be free. What is it that these people want? And if you get to know them and you truly find out what they want, then you can meet them where they are. You're not going to try to build somebody to presidential who's like, dude, get off my back. I just want grocery money. And whenever I finally realized, like, it's not about these people and where they belong on my chart, I have to turn and look and see what do they want out of their chart. And so no, not everyone's going to come into this business ready to run to the top and make $1 million. They may never, and that's okay. And you have to be okay with that, or else you will get burnt out, because you'll feel that frustration that's silly. It's, it's like if a trainer, someone's like, I just want to lose 20 pounds. And they're like, no, you're going to lose 100. Well, that's not going to be a good working relationship. So that was a big aha moment the last few months in my business, is really listening to what your team wants and what they need. So those are my biggest points. I appreciate so much both of our teams taking the time away from your families and to dedicate towards your business. No one makes you get on these Zooms. And it just shows, you do want to take it to the next level. You do care about your future. I will tell you that wholeheartedly, I do see the vision. I do see, and it's not about a paycheck. Once I got over that, and once I realized it's not about living in your E-suite, it's about putting people in your E-suite, but it's not about your paycheck. It is about changing lives. And if you can go and you can get over yourself and you can pour into others, your paycheck will grow. If you sit and just focus on your paycheck and, become bitter and just so stressed, you got to keep this fun. Keep this fun. You're changing people's lives. And in return, the money's there. The money's out there. It will come to you. Keep it fun and keep it positive.
I agree. Got to keep the passion and the desire.
Yes. Are there any questions that any of you guys have for Tiffany or I? Oh, yes, Rebecca. I'm sorry. Rebecca Clock, I see that you raised your hand like forever ago, and I just now realized what that meant. Hold on. I'm going to unmute you. I'm sorry, I didn't know what that meant. Where did you go? Rebecca, can you hear me? Okay, Rebecca, you're unmuted. What question do you have?
I can't hear. Oh, shit. How do you do this? I don't even know how to do it.
All you have to do is talk. We can hear you, girl.
Oh. Sorry.
It's okay.
No, I'm going to write a list and ask you Friday. Because there's a few things that I'm still a little, I don't really understand.
Okay.
But I'm going to talk to you and Trista Friday about it so I can get a better understanding.
Okay. And that's the thing too, guys. Anytime you have a question, write them down. No question is dumb. And if I don't know the answer or if I redirect you to a spot, it is not because I don't want to answer your question. It's because as a leader, we have to grow that independence. So I may say, go look in eSuite under this document. Not because I don't want to answer your question, but because then it's going to teach you, oh, okay, that's where this info is, and you can teach your team. So yes, definitely Friday, write down any questions in between now and then, and I can't wait to see y'all and help y'all. You know, like, this is more of a motivation and where Tiff and I have come from. But the GV, BV, all that stuff, that's easy. I'll teach you all that. You'll get that in a night. So, Martha, go ahead and unmute yourself.
I have a question.
Sure.
I had a customer she's been doing the hair, skin, and nails for like 3 months now, and says she hasn't noticed one difference and hasn't missed one dose. Like, she says it's not working at all.
I would ask her to send
what
you
what do you do with that?
I would say, well, go ahead and send me your before and afters. And 9 times
They
out
look
of
exactly the same.
her hair hadn't grown at all.
In length, but she's still like nearly bald.
Does she have like missing hair?
Mm-hmm.
Like bald spots?
Yeah, really, really thin on top.
Well, you can send those to me and we can talk about some different ways to approach her. My biggest thing is a lot of people don't always take good before and afters. And so, yeah.
Well, she took the picture like of the top of her head both times.
Well, and just if you'll want to send those to me.
The same picture.
Yeah, send those to me and we can talk about different ways to approach her because it does work different with everyone's body. And, you know, who knows, her bald spots may not have grown, but her hair may have thickened or, you know, you just never know. So just send those to me and we can work through some different ways to respond to her. I'll be happy to help you.
Okay.
Is there anybody else? Okay, well, this is recorded, so I will convert this tonight and upload it tomorrow. I appreciate, Tiffany, you taking the time to pour into my team. Sorry, I can't hear you. It means a lot to hear it from a sideline sister. And my very last tip, I promise, is find a sideline sister. You know, it's so awesome that Tiffany and I can selflessly help each other. There's no motive. I'm not above her. She's not above me. There's no competition. It is a sincere, hey, what are you doing? How's it going? What ideas do you have? That is one of the best things that you can find in this company as a sideline sister to run with.
I mean, when they say one team, one mission, they truly mean one team, one mission. Because like Courtney said, even though we are completely different teams, we are both still under Ashley and we're in it together. We're in it for the same reasons. And I feed off her, she feeds off me, and it's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, I love it. Well, thank you. Thank you again. Thank you for all of you that took time out of your evenings to be on here. And I can't wait to see what this does for all of your lives. And just thank you. So
Thank you.
you're welcome. Y'all have a great rest of your week, and then we'll upload this tomorrow.
Sounds good. Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye, Tiff.